Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're equipping you, the coaches, with the ultimate blueprint for developing elite agility in your athletes. We are going to completely shift your students' paradigm from simply moving around to actually utilizing footwork as a precise biomechanical weapon. So if you want to build fighters who dictate the pace of absolutely every exchange, you are in the exact right place. Look, let's just dive right into a massive coaching pain point. We've all seen it, and you've probably pulled your hair out over it. Your athlete looks like an absolute world champion hitting the mitts, right? Their head movement is perfectly crisp, their feet are flying, but suddenly the live round starts, actual pressure is applied, and they just fall apart. They start eating heavy, clean shots. So why does that actually happen? Here's the thing. The crucial point is that getting hit cleanly usually has nothing to do with slow reflexes. It's actually a fundamental structural failure. Your fighter is standing exactly where their opponent aimed. Under pressure, they're either freezing up or stepping straight back, which means they are staying perfectly inside the angle their opponent's power hand was already set to hit. It's been a positioning problem this entire time. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll hit 1. The center line problem. 2. Biomechanics of elite movement. 3. The three-angle exits. 4. Chaining defensive angles. And finally, 5. Coaching drills for agility.
All right, let's start with part 1, the center line problem.
Before we even touch modern sparring data, let's anchor this in a bit of history. Bruce Lee put it best when he taught that mobility absolutely must precede all punches and kicks. Footwork is the backbone of martial arts. He called it the science of motion. You literally cannot use your hands or legs effectively until your feet have put you in the right position. It's the delivery system for every single technique. And the contrast between amateur and elite is wild. Moving straight back on the center line, you're basically doing your opponent's targeting for them. Think about this. A professional punch takes roughly 150 milliseconds to land. If you retreat straight back on the center line, you're just extending their runway. You're retreating, sure, but you're still at point B while they punch from point A. Elite movement, on the other hand, relies on geometric angles, like stepping off at 45 degrees, to completely remove the target before that lightning-fast punch even leaves the opponent's shoulder. Moving right along to part 2, biomechanics of elite movement. When we analyze the angular variations in a fighter's backstep, it gets really fascinating. Recent biomechanical studies looking at ground reaction forces prove that altering the backstep angle fundamentally changes the physical mechanics of the leg. Research shows that as a fighter increases their backstep angle from 0 to 90 degrees, their leg stiffness actually decreases, while their kinetic impulse increases. To break that down simply for your students, taking an angle doesn't just move you out of the way. Mechanically, it acts like compressing a coil. You increase the usable energy, meaning you're literally loading a spring to fire back harder and with way more stability. And you know who is the absolute gold standard for this? Vasyl Lomachenko. If you really analyze his footwork patterns, he isn't taking massive leaping bounds. He relies on small, continuous, choppy steps and subtle pivots. This elite technique keeps his center of gravity super low and his feet are constantly engaged with the canvas. It ensures he's never caught flat-footed and is always in a position to fire back with maximum leverage. Okay, let's get into section 3, the three-angle exits. Coaches, consider this your core syllabus. First up, we have the outside step. Your fighter steps their lead foot 45 degrees outside. It's the highest percentage defensive move because it literally forces the opponent to punch across their own body, instantly exposing their ribs for your counter. Second is the inside pivot. You rotate 45 to 90 degrees to the inside. It feels a bit counterintuitive at first, but it systematically disrupts combinations and places your fighter right in the opponent's blind spot. Manny Pacquiao used this masterfully, by the way. And finally, the lateral reset. Just a direct sidestep to quickly break an opponent's rhythm without fully committing to a brand new angle. Which brings us to section 4, chaining defensive angles. Think about a defensive master like Floyd Mayweather Jr. He doesn't just take one angle and casually reset to the center. If a fighter only takes one angle and stops, they're giving the opponent precious time to catch up and reestablish that dangerous center line. But chaining an outside step directly into a lateral reset, that doubles the opponent's recalibration time. Your fighter forces the opponent to solve 2 geometric problems instead of 1. It leaves them chasing ghosts while your fighter's counter window stays wide open. Finally, section 5, coaching drills for agility. Think about it like this. Under real, full-speed pressure, a fighter's nervous system defaults to whatever it has practiced the most.
If they haven't absolutely mastered the exit, their brain just defaults to standing still and covering up. That's why half-speed execution with full contact intent is so vital. Motor learning research proves that practicing at a reduced speed, but with full cognitive attention, builds automatic neural pathways for these angle exits. It gives the brain breathing room to correct errors without the brutal consequence of eating a fast punch.
So you pair that slow sparring with dedicated agility ladder drills, following a sequence from the in-out lateral to the backward icky. But here's the real secret sauce. You must run these protocols fresh, before conditioning. You are training the nervous system here, not fatigue tolerance. Drills like the 2-in, exit 45 degrees, literally program the physical fight-exit pattern directly into your athlete's muscle memory. This severely reduces ground contact time and trains pure explosive movement quality.
So coach, as you take these geometric angles, these biomechanical principles, and these strict drills into your next session to build your own Lomachenko, ask yourself this one final question. Are your fighters just moving around, kind of hoping not to get hit? Or are they maneuvering? Are they actively controlling the canvas and weaponizing their distance? Focus on the feet, and the hands will follow. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you in the next one.